Hello, folks. This is your old friend, Porkish Fartillery. I know it has been, I think, a decade since I put anything online. I'm showing you my face now. Um, but I did want to come back and share just a funny story that reminded me of this channel. Um, this is not going to be an unboxing video. It's just going to be a story time because it is kind of a funny story, and it just shows you what a difference 10 years makes. So, if you have watched any of my videos, you know that about 10 years ago, I had a wave of nostalgia and I started buying old Magic cards and old Jihad and Vampire the Eternal Struggle cards, opened a bunch of them on video for this channel, to the great delight of many, which I appreciate, all the views and likes and comments. Made some decks, never really played because I couldn't find anybody to play with. I did some draft tournaments here and there, but didn't really seriously get back into the games at all. The cards that I chose to buy, this is all nostalgia. This wasn't me wanting to spend huge amounts of money on Magic cards. So they were at a particular price point, and as you know, I'll do a little history lesson for you. You probably already know this if you're watching this, but if you go back to the original sets of Magic, there was Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Revised, and 4th Edition. That was sort of the initial sequence of card sets that came out back in the 90s. Obviously, Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited, setting aside just the functional rarity of the cards themselves, those first three sets are very hard to find today. And if you the sealed products are going to be in the 5 figures because those 3 sets had the Black Lotus, the Moxes, the Time Twister, Time Walk, and Ancestral Recall, the so-called Power 9. I'm leaving one out, aren't I? It's only 8. Anyway, the Power 9, all very extremely powerful cards and extremely valuable cards because they're so powerful. Revised did not have those cards, so it did have the original dual lands, though, the lands that come in to play untapped and you can immediately tap them for one of 2 colors. Those are still considered extremely valuable, so any sealed revised products are still going to be extremely expensive. And there was a precipitous price drop after that into 4th edition because 4th edition didn't have the Power 9 and didn't have the dual lands. There are a couple of, kind of powerful cards in 4th edition, Land Tax, Strip Mine, maybe a couple of others, but nothing really rising to the level of the Power 9 or those dual lands. And not only that, but I think the 4th edition cards could still technically be reprinted at any point, so there wasn't that sort of like completely insane pricing of sealed 4th edition products. So that was kind of where I started. I bought 4th edition sealed products, including some booster boxes, which I opened on here, some starter decks, opened on this channel, because they weren't worth anything. I was just having fun looking at the old cards and making kind of old vintage decks. And that was that. And I did that for a while, then I stopped and did other things, and kind of forgot about it. So the other day, my wife and I were in the car with our 2 kids. I should note, gotta get ahead of myself. So my wife works in the public school system, and a couple of years ago, before the pandemic, a teacher at where she was working was starting a Magic club for the students, and he was going around looking for cards to donate. People donate cards. So she asked me, I had all these Magic cards sitting around for years and years without ever laying eyes or hands on them. She said, do you have any cards you can give this guy? I said, sure. So I and this isn't a story about me accidentally donating extremely valuable cards, so that don't get any ideas in that regard. But I did give him most of my cards just because they weren't worth anything and I wasn't doing anything with them. Most of them were the more recent sets, M10, M11, M12. the industry ad, things like that, and no sealed products. They were just cards. I mean, I had some decks that I had made and I gave to him. I think I had some 4th edition decks that I gave to him. Again, open, play, nominally played, not worth anything. So there. So I did, but I did keep a few things. There wasn't a whole lot of rhyme or reason into what I kept. But for example, I kept my Ice Age decks for some reason. So I still have these, which I think I've shared on this channel. So a couple of days ago, so my wife and kids and I were in the car, and I'm going camping for the first time in like 25 years next weekend, and I'm taking my sons with me, and I've been sort of racking my brain as to what I'm going to bring to entertain them. And I remembered, and I just sort of been an offhand comment, like, when I went camping when I was a teenager, I went with my best friend, and he and I were really into Magic, and we bought our Magic cards, and we played Magic while we were camping, and that was a lot of fun. So my wife says, why don't you bring your Magic cards? I think that would be fun for everybody. And it was kind of a joke, but I thought, yeah, why not? I should at least look to see what I have left. So I looked to see what I have left, and I have Ice Age decks, and then some random boxes of like loose cards like this. These are all, they're not index. They're just, loose cards. I think probably the most valuable thing in here is a revised Vesuvian Doppelganger, which might maybe sell for like $50. Then this is just kind of fun. I bought this card because I just love this goth elf. I think she's really cute. And then I bought, this is kind of good. This is bringing back a lot of memories from 10 years ago when I bought these cards. I bought some discontinued Quentin Hoover cards, like this Dark Pact, and some other things. Maybe I'll go through my cards again on this channel now that I'm here again. What I also found, though, and this is the funny part of the story, is a factory sealed 4th edition booster box with the circle sealing and the printed in Belgium authentic factory sealed product that I bought on eBay and then just forgot about. For one reason or another, decided I wasn't going to open it back then. I think I opened a whole booster box on camera, and it was kind of enough already. I didn't want to just do that again. That'd be boring. So I just kind of put it in a drawer and forgot about it. So I'm like, oh, that's fun. I could open that and make some decks like I did last time. That'd be a lot of fun. I could do those old vintage, nostalgic decks. But I thought to myself, I should see what these are going for now, and actually went and looked. I dug up the email from eBay from 10 years ago, and I paid $182 for this 10 years ago. And so I looked, and on the secondary market on eBay and the Card Collector and on all these websites, these are being listed for like $1,700, $1,800, which I find so bizarre. Like I said, it can't be about the cards because there are only a few decent cards in there, and there are much better cards you can get in other sets, or you can just buy them as singles. You're not going to find a Power 9 or a dual land in this box. So I have no idea what would be driving that kind of price point for this thing, but that is a tenfold increase in value in 10 years, which isn't bad. So I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to sell it either. I'm just going to hold and see if it goes up in value. That was just a hysterical to me thing. I mean, it's it's a story you will always hope happen. You always hope will happen to you when you're in my screen just turned off and now my glasses aren't reflecting anymore. That's a lot of fun. It's the story of finding something in your closet, some collectible card thing that you put in your closet and forgot about, and it's worth a couple $1,000s. It's one of those stories that never ever happened to me until now, and now it has happened, and it's pretty funny. So I don't anticipate I'm going to really rejuvenate this channel now. I've moved on to other nostalgia. I built a arcade machine in my basement with 20,000 games on it. So that's kind of my current, midlife crisis project. I play golf now. That's new. But who knows? Maybe I'll dig into these cards and start talking about them again, or maybe I'll get into new Magic again. Who knows? But I just wanted to share that story with you. If anybody's out there watching this past 10 minutes, I was hoping to keep this under 10 minutes, but I didn't, so I apologize. If you're out there watching this, thank you. If you're still subscribed to me and this came up in your notifications and you clicked on it, I appreciate that. I appreciate the subscriptions. I know it was not very nice of me to just ghost on everybody 10 years ago, but I did move on to other things. So that's my story. Story of me and my long forgotten factory sealed 4th edition booster box that is now worth a completely unreasonable amount of money. I will hold on to it for a while, and if the price goes up, I will sell it at some point. If the price craters, I will open it up and make decks. Either way, I'll be okay, and it'll be fun. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.